Hello and welcome to the Homeowner Prep Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Halan, and this podcast was created to provide real-world advice and accountability for first-time homebuyers. We'll be interviewing industry experts, providing some how-tos, and talking with first-time homebuyers about their personal experiences. If that sounds interesting to you, please be sure to subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the little bell to be notified when new episodes release. Now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Homeowner Prep Podcast. I'm excited to talk about this content today because we're going to debunk a little bit of a myth that exists out in the real world. And that's this myth that there's the existence of the perfect home. So we're going to really be talking about how to find the right now home versus looking for the perfect home. In my experience working with home buyers, ideally, you want to find a home that fits all of your needs, all of your wants, all of your wildest desires. But oftentimes trying to find that perfect home really just doesn't exist, and it actually will hurt you more than it helps you. So we're going to talk about a few tips that'll help you get into a home that definitely will meet your needs, maybe check off some of those wants, but ultimately get you into the game so that way you can win and make your way as you progress and have home ownership to eventually be able to buy a bigger, better home, different location. But at the end of the day, you're taking advantage of home ownership and appreciation and all the benefits of home ownership that come with it. So the first thing I want to talk about is really what it comes down to find the right home right now is what's your budget? Oftentimes, the perfect home may be the home on the beach with the beautiful views, all the things that you would want in a house, but your budget doesn't align to that home. And so if your budget is saying that you need to stay in a particular area or even a particular type of home, maybe it's not the perfect home, but it will get you into a home right now. And so looking at your budget, talking with your loan officer, and really dialing in what your mortgage payments will be, that really will help you decide on the type of home that you can buy right now. So let that be the focus coming out the gate. If you don't know what you can afford, you definitely need to talk with a loan officer, go over all of your debt, your income, things that you have as far as responsibilities to make sure that you're going to get into a home that you can afford for the next 30 years. Because more often than not, people think, I'm going to buy this house and I'm going to live in it forever. And it's just not true. The modern statistics show that homeowners actually move every 6 to 7 years. And so, even those who think that they're going to buy one house and, it's one and done, that's the house that they're going to live in forever, it's just not true. They actually will move. And on average, like I said, it tends to be about 6 to 7 years that the average American will move. And that's actually speeding up. So over the years, it's always been around that 7-year mark, but it is speeding up. And that's just part of the culture, just like a lot of people who get into occupations or a different career field, they think that that's going to be the career field that they stay in. And more often than not, they do change more jobs more frequently nowadays than they did in the past. It's the same thing when it comes to real estate. So we are seeing folks that are moving sooner than they did in the past. And that comes down to, home ownership and home prices going up, and then taking advantage of that and making a move up to the next house. So getting into the right now home means looking at your budget. What can I afford? Talking it over with your loan officer, and then buying the home that you can afford right now. The next step is really buying as soon as you can. So after you have that conversation with the loan officer, you really want to take advantage of the fact that you are approved. If you get approved, that's a major milestone. Not everybody gets approved for a home mortgage. Not everybody can afford to buy. And so if you are approved, take advantage of that right away. Things change. Your job isn't guaranteed. Interest rates aren't guaranteed. Obviously, the housing market isn't guaranteed. So if you are approved, instead of waiting on the sideline and trying to wait for that perfect home, take advantage of this moment. Don't fall into the trap of sitting around and waiting. Oh, well, I got approved, but I'm going to wait 3 months and see what happens, with the housing market or with this community. No, you need to buy as soon as you can. Take advantage of it because it's not guaranteed. So you definitely want to make sure that once you do get approved, celebrate it, lock it in, and get out in the market and go find a house as soon as you can. The next thing that you have to do in order to find the right now home is turn off the TV. I know this is a little bit silly, but there's so many people who watch HGTV and some of these other channels, and they think that that's reality. Oh, I'm going to go and look at 3 homes. I'm going to make an offer on one, and I'm going to get that home that I want because it meets all my needs and it does this, does that. And it's just not true. I mean, in our market today, you're going to look at 20, 30, 40 homes before you even decide, okay, I'm going to make some offers. Now, the first offer that you make is not necessarily going to get accepted. If it does, great, that's awesome, but it's not common. So you will look at more and more homes. You will make more and more offers in order to finally get an offer accepted. So, as you're going about in the market and you're looking at things with, in reality, it's going to be much different than what you see on TV. So it's fun to watch those shows. It's fun to, kind of look at the fix and flips and people who are buying, first-time buyers, and look at it, but realize that it is not reality. It's not what we're going through in the marketplace. So I just want to prepare you for that so you're not frustrated when you are out looking at multiple homes and writing multiple offers. So, fall into the reality of life in the market that we're going through, and kind of distance yourself from the TV realities that are out there. The next thing and the most important thing, even before you start to make offers and start to get out into the marketplace, is to make a list of non-negotiables. Now, I know we're talking about, buying the right now home and it not being the perfect home, but there are going to be some things that are non-negotiables for you. There are going to be neighborhoods that you absolutely do not want to live in. There's going to be home styles that, if you say, well, I like to buy a single family home, but I'll settle on, a townhome. But maybe you don't want to settle on a condo where you have people living above you or below you. So think about what are your non-negotiables. Make a list of those items and go over those things with your real estate agent. Talk about, here are the things that I absolutely need. Here are the things that I would like or, desires, nice to haves. And then here are the things that I absolutely do not want whatsoever. I've had clients who refuse to live in a community that has an HOA. That's their decision. It's a non-negotiable for them. We were able to find them a place that had no HOA. So you have to just make that list and just stick to it. Again, you want to have a list of, non-negotiables, but there are going to be some things that you'll give and take. And so just go over that list with your agent before you actually get out there. So that way you're not wasting your time seeing homes that you would absolutely not live in. Again, community, a certain style of home, maybe square footage, things of that nature that may be non-negotiables. Don't waste your time. You really got to take advantage, again, of getting in the market quickly and, getting your offer accepted. So you don't want to waste your time looking at homes that just don't meet your needs. The next thing that you want to do is what I always say, get in the game. You got to get in the game because it's always going to be better to get in the game than to sit on the sidelines. So as you're, getting approved, as you're going out looking at homes, try your best to, make sure that you're looking at the houses that you want to see, but you are actively making strong offers. Don't make offers that, I kind of like the house, I'm going to make an offer, below asking price. You're going to spin your wheels. You're not going to actually get in the game. You're going to feel like you're in the game, but you're not. You're still on the sidelines. You're not in the game until you have keys in hand. And so, just thinking that you're out and you're looking at homes or you're making offers, that you're in it, you're not necessarily in it yet because you're not taking advantage of all the benefits that homeownership offers you. So when it comes to getting in the game, it really boils down to making sure that you are looking at homes as soon as they hit the market. And your agent should be sending those over and you should be getting notified of those homes immediately. And then again, writing very, very strong offers that are going to get accepted. If you feel like, this home is not really what you want, just, don't write the offer. Write only offers that, that on the homes that you really, really want. Because at the end of the day, if that offer gets accepted, you don't want to have regrets, and say that, hey, I just bought a home that I really didn't care for. Again, it's not the perfect home. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying is things that fit your non-negotiables, things that fit all of your needs and check off the boxes for you, you should be making solid, strong, highest and best offers in order for them to get accepted, especially in today's market. So I just want to quickly recap on those things. obviously talking with your team, your loan officer, your real estate agent. These are the people who are going to help you put that list together, help you see where you're at with your budget. That's a priority. Then the next step to that is really getting in the game, really making strong offers, making your list of non-negotiables and going after it with everything that you have, because that's going to help you find a great home right now versus waiting on a perfect home that may never come. So I really appreciate you just taking the time to catch this episode. I look forward to putting out more information on the next episode that's going to help you as well. If you have any questions, if you need to reach out to a loan officer or a real estate agent in your area, be connected, reach out to us and we'll connect you with somebody there local for you. I look forward to providing some more great content next week, and I'll see you then. Be blessed. I hope you got some value from today's episode. If you know someone who could benefit from hearing this show, be sure to share it with them. And if you're listening to the podcast, we'd love for you to drop us a review. We'd also love to hear from you if you have any questions. So reach out to us on Instagram at Homeowner Prep. Who knows? We may read your review and answer your question on one of our future shows.